Welcome to the Breaking Burnout for Nurses podcast. I'm so glad you're here today. You are going to meet Eva Zobian-Wolf, RN and yoga therapist. Welcome, Eva. Eva is the founder of Eva Zee Wellness, and where she supports healthcare professionals in restoring their energy, resilience, and some sense of self through nervous system informed care. She's been a nurse for over 20 years and has experience in healthcare, including a decade in critical care, and is a certified yoga therapist specializing in adaptive trauma-informed yoga, and her work is rooted in both clinical experience and a deep understanding of the demands placed on the body and nervous system in high-stress environments like where nurses work, right, Eva?
Yeah, especially, in some of those wild environments, the things, we're looking back on our career and we're talking about some of the things that we've done and experienced. We're just kind of, oh my gosh, did that really happen?
Well, I love when I heard the title of your yoga for non-bendy people. That is so clever, and that's me. I'm non-bendy. I mean, I immediately resonated with that. So thank you for that title. So
Yeah, I'm really glad that it resonated, because
I think anybody can connect with that title.
Well, and there's a lot of misconceptions around yoga because people think I have to be bendy, I have to be flexible. I actually looked into yoga teacher training on and off multiple times over 20 years and never followed through because I have scoliosis and I was in a back brace for 5 years. I have had chronic pain since the age of 12. And I thought, who's going to take yoga from somebody that can barely stand up straight on some days? And then I got to a certain point where I thought, you know what? Yoga has so many amazing benefits, and there's got to be somebody out there that teaches yoga the way that I need to learn yoga. And then in turn, I can turn around and there's a lot of turns. I can teach yoga to others, and it would be something that I could do while working in the hospital, and it would help me feel that sense of I'm doing something beneficial, which seems really weird when you work in the hospital and you work on the bedside, you're a nurse and you're taking care of all these people. Working in the ICU, there was a lot of heaviness that we saw, that we worked with, and we didn't get to see the good outcomes. We didn't get to see when people left and they went to step down units and then they went to rehab and they went home and they were living their life. We never got to see that end of the story.
Right. Yes. Well, I'm so glad. Okay, so did you start out in ICU in your career? What was your first nursing job?
My first nursing job was in a small community hospital, and I worked med-surg for quite a while. And then went into critical care. I worked as a phlebotomist for many years in the trauma team, the rapid response team, and in the neonatal intensive care unit. And so there was a lot of different lens, but very similar environments that I worked for the first 10 years of my career.
Wow. So you have a vast look at, at nursing and from every direction. And you probably saw that in each of those cases, everybody could use the yoga. And so I'm so happy that even though you had the scoliosis, or even though you still have it, right, that you still push through and figured it out, and you're able to help us because there's so many of us and we all can benefit from yoga, whether you're bendy or non-bendy.
Absolutely. Yeah, because there's so many components of yoga. There's not just the physical health component of yoga, which for me, doing yoga, practicing yoga on a consistent basis helped me to not need as many pain medications. It helped me to have fewer episodes of back spasms and inability to be able to walk upright. I hear those sensations in my body earlier, and then I do things to prevent the full-blown I'm crawling to the bathroom instead of walking upright.
Yes. So when you first started learning about yoga, you were working full-time in critical care?
Yes.
And then you just started taking classes kind of on your time off and learned about it that way?
Yeah, actually what I did was I did a couple challenges where it was practice yoga every single day for 3 weeks. And I had been practicing yoga for over 20 years. However, a lot like a lot of us, I was only doing it when I was having issues, when it felt
Yes.
convenient, and not practicing on a consistent basis. And because of that, I am a huge proponent of micro practices. If you've got 1 minute, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, there's a practice that you can do in that time that's beneficial for your physical health, your mental health, your nervous system health, your spiritual health. And as nurses, we need that full spectrum of health, not just tightening the core, strengthening the low back. We also need spiritual health. We need sleep hygiene. We need lifestyle practices that are really nourishing for all of the responsibilities, all the weight that we carry all the time.
Well, I love that idea of the micro practices, because sometimes it just takes a few seconds or, a minute, and you could do a little stretch or something that actually makes a difference. Just that little bit of time can make a difference. And you think oh, I don't have time, but you do have time, don't you?
And that's the thing, is it also is redefining what we think of practice is. And my classes, I teach people, if you need to go into a med room and scream for 30 seconds, that's a yoga practice too.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Getting into the car and rage singing, or whatever it is that you need in that moment.
It's amazing what goes on in that med room besides getting your meds, right? I have done stretches in that med room, and just reach for the sky or touch your toes or something. It makes a little difference there.
Absolutely. And the thing is that when we are more in tune with our body, we know what stretches we need. It might be something as simple as, I just need to lift my knee up and just move it off to the side and rotate the knee side to side a little bit and open up that hip for a moment, because I was kneeling down in front of my patient's bed trying to figure out what the chest tube drainage was. It's like all the ninja skills that we put ourselves into, trying to
all strange positions we get ourselves in sometimes.
Exactly. And
so
the
now,
thing is,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say the big misconception with yoga is people think I have to mold myself into what yoga is. And the practices that I teach are the opposite. We're taking yoga and we're molding it to you so that
beautiful.
It fits your lifestyle, your habit, your routines, your body. And we're utilizing all of the resources: walls, doorways, pillows, blankets, bolsters, blocks, furniture, the floor, every single space. We can do some type of yoga practice there.
And we don't need a lot of space, right?
No, not at all.
Just a little, just enough where your body can fit in, 1 foot by 1 foot practically.
When I was working in the ICU, we would do practices during huddle before we went out to get bedside report. And it was always interesting because I would also teach practices that they could do while they were in the elevator, going down to the lab or going down to blood bank, things that they could, if they were transporting a patient when they're coming back up, things that they can do while they're in the elevator just to decompress a little bit and also, tune into their body. What do they need in that moment before they come back and then start prepping for the next patient that's arriving?
Oh, I love it. So now, do you do this full time now? So you're not in the critical care area anymore?
No, I actually stepped away from the bedside in 2019 because I did my initial yoga teacher training, the 200-hour, and then I did the advanced 300-hour training and started working with clients privately. And I was having clients that were communicating with their doctors. They were coming off of blood pressure medications. They were coming off of pain medications. They were able to space their injections, their pain relief injections. They were able to space them out a little bit longer. They weren't needing as many of their sleep medications, and their relationships were improving.
Oh, beautiful.
And for me, that's why I went into medicine, right? I wanted to help people. And I was in that space in the ICU where I'm like, it's really hard. And there's so many interventions that people need way before they come into the ICU. And being able to help people not need the ICU, to me, that was incredibly powerful. And so I slowly went from full-time to part-time to per diem. And then when working in the hospital was preventing me from being able to teach classes or work with clients, then I thought, you know what? Time to step away and do this where I'm really having some meaningful impact. Not that I didn't in the ICU, and that's not what I'm saying at all.
Right.
It's just, it was those several steps before, right? Helping people so that they didn't need to end up in the ICU, or it was a much different trajectory of their story.
Yes, instead of waiting till they're at that critical moment or that critical health scare that they have, just
Absolutely.
taking some, like those micro yoga practices might help them prevent that, getting to that point.
Absolutely.
Now, so do you teach in a yoga studio? Do you have a yoga studio, or where do you teach?
I teach at a couple different yoga studios. The majority of my practice is actually done online.
Oh, perfect. Okay, that's what I was going to ask you next. So, okay, so tell us about that. Is it like a Zoom call lesson?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So as a yoga therapist, this is one more step of advanced training in yoga. It's a step beyond being a yoga teacher to yoga therapist. And this is looking at the whole person, their spiritual health, their emotional health, their mental health, their physical health, and looking at it through the lens of all of the Vedic and yogic philosophies and practices. How can we improve functional movement, functional practices, mindset? Everything is through the lens of what is nourishing for you, and starting to look at what are the things that are depleting us? What are the things that are actually harming us? What are the things that really aren't ours, that we've been carrying for a long time? Some of those old stories, those old patterns that we're on autopilot and not aware how it was affecting us.
We got to get rid of those things, right?
Yes, exactly.
Oh, well, so do you do kind of a assessment of your clients before they take your class?
Well, so when I'm working one-on-one with someone, there's a consultation appointment where we go through a very extensive history, and we, depending on what their goals are, it may be we're looking at what type of range of motion do they have, and doing some really examining where are they right now, where do they have pain, what are their sleep habits, what are their eating habits, what are their movements throughout the day, and then offering practices that help them be more in tune with their body, to help pay attention, so that they're hearing the sounds and the signals coming from their own body. And just like with my scoliosis, it's not that the spine in my, or the curve in my spine has straightened out through yoga, but my awareness of what are the places, what are the times, what are the movements that really help me to keep from getting a lot of angry muscles, imbalances in my muscles. And it helps me to hear when my back is saying, yeah, this is too much. And if you keep doing this, I'm going to start screaming tomorrow and you're not going to be able to walk to the bathroom. And so that doesn't happen as much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And now I can do stretches, I can slow down, just being able to be receptive to, hey, today's the day where I need to take it easy and not run full steam. And then I'm not burning the candles at both ends. I'm recognizing sleep is important. Pausing in between working and taking a break and going for a walk, or just simply standing up, walking around, doing some stretches, and then coming back. Those little things that we all know we're supposed to get sunshine, eat broccoli, and move our bodies. It's just, we know those things. It's implementing them that are challenging.
Sometimes we need a reminder.
Exactly.
Well, I love your approach to it, because it's not just going and stretching this way and that way, or twisting. It's very extensive and very personalized, it sounds like. So
it's very personalized. And so there's a lot of ways that people can work with me to make it cost effective for them. If one-on-one sessions are a little bit challenging for their budget, then I have group sessions that they can do. And so there's a lot of practices that are really, really, really nourishing and really helpful. And then also I post videos to YouTube as well. So there's a lot of ways to interact with me that can meet people where they are in terms of their readiness level, their financial level, and their time level as well too.
Beautiful. Well, okay, speaking of all that, where can someone get a hold of you? Now, you said on YouTube. So what is your YouTube channel where they can follow you?
It's Eva Zee Wellness.
Okay, so that's EVAZEE and then Wellness, WELLNESS.
Yes.
And then also you're on LinkedIn, Eva Zobian, ZOBIAN, Wolf, WOLF.
Correct. And I forgot to mention that there's also a Yoga for Non-Bendy People membership that folks can join. And that is a smaller investment each month. They have access to videos, lots of learning tools, and live classes that they can get information tailored to them during the Q&A sessions.
Perfect. Okay, so how do you sign up for that?
For that, you just need to go to my website, yogafornonbendypeople.com.
All right, perfect. Okay, Eva. Now, I know you know so many things. So I'm so glad that you came on my podcast, but I'm going to have you back, okay? And I know that you do another type of yoga class, which is yoga according to zodiac signs. Yeah. So I'm so excited to have you back for that.
Bonnie, thank you so much. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.
Oh, yes. So there's so much more to learn from you. So I'm excited about that. And then I'm excited to have you back for the zodiac signs. And so we'll come back next week, Monday at 10 a.m. for more of Eva.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody. We're breaking burnout here.